Ladies and gentlemen, we're back from, getting my mouth ripped apart. So, no camera today, but guess what? This is actually kind of huge. So, you might be a little salt warrior on it. You might be a little bit, this is just crazy on it. We're going to be as fair as possible when it comes to this, because this is one of the most crazy things I have seen a gacha game do. So, this is an official post by Etheria Restart, and this speaks volumes about what's going on in this game right now and how they're excited to celebrate the true global launch of Etheria Restart. So check it out, hyperlinkers. To celebrate the global launch of Etheria Restart, the Extra Affinity Animus selection is about to begin. This is going to be on the 25th of this month, September, which is the day I think that we're getting China, Korea, as well as Japan launches. You can check in for a total of 7 days to claim a bundle of upgrade resources, including Perfect Lattice, which is huge, Enhanced Prototype, Red Shadow Print, and more. And then you will also receive an Apex Selection card ×1, which you can redeem for either Masya, Mio, Doki Doki, Heinrich, Lily, Withered, Shadow, Sonia, or Lilium, which is absolutely insane. So this is going to be something that's coming out the 25th. And I think both the current players that were, global as we're called right now, right? US selection, whatever the servers are called, is going to get this. And then obviously this is going to be like a thing for the new actual true global launch of the game. Now, this is a thing that I've never really seen a game in this PvE/PvP niche do, which is just, hey, select one of these MLs that you want. Select one of these LD characters, right? Masya, Mio, Doki Doki, Heinrich, Lily, Shadow Sunny, or Lilium around here. Let's be honest, dude. No one's picking Masya, no one's picking Mio, no one's picking Doki Doki or Heinrich. It's either going to be Lily, Shadow Sunny, or Lilium, right? If someone's re-rolling on the China server, Japanese server, Korea server, you're going to want to re-roll for one of these three, Lily, Shadow Sonia, or Lilium, and then probably pick Lily if you don't have her, or pick either Shadow Sonia to rip right through early PvE progression, or Lilium for the PvE one-shot potential near the end of the game, considering you already, re-rolled for Lily here. Also having a cracked PvP character here as well. So this is wild. I think there is a little bit of cope and a little over-hate here if we want to take this in a vacuum. Like, excluding Yelly is a huge L, but thanks. Sure, man, I guess. But this is literally everyone who's ever said, like, if the game just gave you Lily Restart, I'd play the game. Brother, there's a lot more problems in this game than just Lily Restart. But if that was your only problem, hey, man, come on, welcome back, dude. You get in here, you get the Lily for free, I suppose. Dude, what are some other comments going on in here? Even after free LD selector, people still complain about Yelly, not including me. No one gives a fuck about Yelly, dude. Yelly, listen, is she not on here? No, because you be here instead of Masya. Sure, I think the real reason that Yelly's not going to be on here, though, I don't think anyone's going to point it out. Conspiracy for this guy. But I think Yelly in the Chinese, Korea, Japanese servers, their launches, their first LD banner is Yelly. So they're going to pull for Yelly, reroll for Yelly, whatever, probably pick Lily or something, right? Oh, this guy knows it. Yelly's going to be the first CN banner. But as far as what I'm going to do, since I already have all of these characters, I'm literally just going to get a Lilium dupe and get bonus stats on my Lilium. That's what I'm going to be doing there. That's crazy. Now let's talk about the implications of what's going on here. They obviously want to attract as many people, not just coming back. A lot of people are like, oh, you're trying to get me to come back. Honestly, I think they're trying to set themselves apart when the other servers launch to get people in here, right? If you combine this little event with the ability for you to re-roll fairly successfully in this game early on, like I did it for like the first, day or whatever until I got Lily, you can re-roll not just specifically for Lily anymore. You can re-roll for an LD character that you want, right? Whether, like we talked about, it's going to be the Shadow Sani or the Lilium or whoever, or maybe just a bunch of crazy RGB units. You could do that. Or vice versa, get Lily or whatever the heck, and then pick one of these characters. It's going to make that experience very good. The main problem with this is very nice, and this is a nice way to really put yourself out there and be like, hey, man, we're setting you the standards of, like, you can get the characters. Like, people are just complaining so much about Yelly. You can get the characters very easily in this game so easily that we're literally just going to give them to you. And I want to actually know how many perfect Gladys, right? Is gonna be one perfect Gladys, one enhanced prototype, one rad shadow print. I'm not sure, but you know, there's some other people who kind of hit the nail on the head of the more destructive argument of this doesn't fix anything in the game, right? This doesn't fix the economy. This doesn't fix player progression in a lot of ways early on, especially that Hell 2 to 3-4 and then Inferno for a lot of players out there. Having Lily, I like, look at this, including Lily, like they're just like, they know, right? They're just out there. And I've seen a lot of people be like, I won't come back till there is a Lily banner. Brother, you don't even need a Lily banner anymore. She's literally right there for you to pick up. So if that was your main thing, which shouldn't be, but hey, you do you, right? If your opinion was the game was unplayable without Lily, and that's the only reason why you quit, well, that opinion's gone now. But there's a lot of other things that we could be picking up on here. The main thing here that I'm seeing in the most destructive opinion, right, which I think is fine, is that we were the beta testers for them confirmed, right? Lily Restart is real, right? It's the real thing, right? Why did we suffer so long like this? Why are they doing it only for global 3 months afterwards? And we've had 3 months of repeated content, basically. Like some small quality of life changes that have been good. We've talked about those. We gave them props for that. But then there's just been a bunch of like kind of not quality of life changes. There's been a lot of things that don't make a lot of sense. There's been a lot of things that are left in the game that are absolutely garbage, like Ethernet Rally giving you level 45 naked characters that don't have gear, they don't have, you know, they don't have shells, they don't have anything. They're just useless. They're part of the game mode, but there's no reason to use them whatsoever, and it's a joke to even have them in the game. Things like that, things of that nature, which is crazy. And this isn't going to help anybody. This will attract people to come play the game and try it out. But if on September 25th, when this is released to, you know, multiple more regions, people will very quickly find themselves in that same spot. It might be lessened especially if they reroll and right, they get Lily plus Shadow Sonya, and they can kind of cheap power creep themselves up through a lot of the different Inferno stages of Inferno Terramaton and get the Inferno gear there, and then be able to get Inferno shells quite easily by starting with Lily plus Shadow Sonya, which is very easy to do on a reroll now. You just reroll for one or the other and then pick the other one during this event, is probably what a lot of new players should be doing. And that will alleviate a lot of that Inferno 2 roadblock where you can't get beyond 3-4 and you can't get into actual Inferno stages, because you can just do the Shadow Sonya Lily garbage right into Inferno Terramaton, take that guy out with a couple of other characters that people have been able to, you know, use to strip the boss, load him up with dots, and then get him out of there. And then start getting your DPS Inferno gear that way and level your Didding or level whoever it is that you need. Use some of that team on shell bosses on Inferno stages. You know, use some of that team on some of the other Inferno stages. This is a lot of free ways to sort of Band-Aid fix the problem, the main problem where people get frustrated at that Hell 2 break point in a lot of ways out there. And if this is one of the ways for these regions to kind of get around it, I don't think you'll see nearly as much of a backlash in those communities because they might not be stuck as nearly as hard as players were for months and months and months, because they have the ability to start with Lily Restart, right? One of the most flexible characters who not only pushes beyond that little roadblock of Hell 2 that we were just talking about, but also helps the absolute disgusting lattice situation in the game as well, because you can lattice a character like Lily who will allow you to use those lattices in one of the most flexible PvE characters that exists. You get a ton of mileage out of those, 4, 5, 6, however many lattices you decide to put into your Lily right away, which is crazy because you don't need to worry about having to lattice up multiple different characters, getting stuck in Hell 2, 3, Inferno, because you have the Lily on your account, which is kind of crazy. A lot of people are like, oh, well, Lilium's in here, but no Yelly is kind of weird. That's because CN server is getting yelly right away. And you should be able to reroll for her if you wanted to on that account as well, which is crazy. I think that's kind of wild. I don't think anyone should be labeled a crybaby if it's like, oh, this is really nice. Like in a vacuum, this is insane. This is insane in a vacuum. You know, if they were just like, hey, we're doing this thing, bah! Like you can't really speak bad about like in a vacuum, LD selector of your choice, plus some more great shit. This is the best event giveaway thing that this game has done in a long time. And I don't think it's entirely tone deaf. I know we talk a lot about, oh, the tone deaf. I don't think it's entirely tone deaf because while, even if they don't know that it doesn't directly, you know, talk about some of the main problems people have had with the game, the economy, the progression system, the lattice system, it is a very good band-aid fix temporarily for new players coming into the game because of what we just talked about. Being able to start on a solid reroll with 2 very powerful PvE LD characters. Maybe even on top of that, some nice bonuses so you can lattice additional characters quite quickly. And I think in these new regions, they might not get as much backlash as they did in Global because of this. So if you see like, oh, the game's so easy, and maybe, hopefully, it'll start doing really well, right? And they'll be able to actually put in, you know, silver lining, actual content into this game. The negative part though here truly comes in where this doesn't change and this doesn't promise anything different content-wise than what this game has already gotten, right? Free shit for everyone, going Oprah on everybody with the bees down here. You know, free stuff over and over and over and over and over and over and over again for resources, for pulling, for building characters and stuff. It does not change the long-term gratification that players just aren't receiving from the content in this game at this point in time. It doesn't talk about, you know, this doesn't change the bloodbath meta everywhere. This doesn't change the Rengokutsu feeling really bad with my 50-50 win rate, sometimes 100%, sometimes 0% because he just one-shots my dark character or whatever my DPS element it is because he decided to just do that day. He woke up and chose fucking violence, right? It doesn't change any of that stuff whatsoever. But in a vacuum, it is good. So let me know what you think about this down below. I gotta go lay the fuck back down. And I'll catch you guys on the camera next time. I'm gonna roll out some other stuff that I pre-recorded before I'll check you guys out then. Bye.